Yes, everybody, welcome back to Football United TV. This is the Introduce Yourself show. I'm joined by a very special guest here, Lothar Birkner, all the way from Germany. But you know what's coming right now? It's the intro. Yes, everybody, welcome back to Football United TV. This is the Introduce Yourself show. I'm joined today by a very special guest, author and Dortmund fan, Lothar Birkner. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks.
Good, glad to hear, How is it in Germany right now? Getting cold?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Everything okay?
Everything okay. Okay, good. So we wanted to ask you, Lothar, a few questions. How did you fall in love with football? What made you like
Oh, it's
football?
very long ago. You know, I'm an old guy. I am born in 1949, and I was 7 years old when born in Dortmund, as I told you, and was 7 years old when my father took me first time to a game of Borussia Dortmund, and that was the year when Dortmund became first time a German football champion, and that was at the same time the beginning of a great love. And I watched a lot of football matches later. First time, as I told you, with my father. A few years later, together alone or together with other guys of my age, and we had a lot of fun, a lot of exciting games to watch. Mostly at first in Dortmund or in neighbor towns, later in several cities of Europe, and I even had the opportunity in 1966 to watch the World Championship final in Wembley, where England became world champion.
Yes, we did. Maybe a bit of home advantage there, right, Lothar?
Yeah.
Bit of home advantage for the English team, it being at
Oh yeah.
Wembley. How was the
Oh yes.
experience, Lothar? How was the experience for you being there around everybody, even though Germany lost, unfortunately? A very good game, right?
Oh yes, it was a very good game, and it was very exciting. And one of the yes, the most exciting was the third goal, the decisive goal, and uh, we discussed, of course, years later this still, and can tell you all Germans didn't see the ball in, and all English saw it in, and it was a time 1966. There was no goal camera or something like this,
Yeah.
and so the referee had to decide, and he didn't see it himself, and he asked the linesman, and at last they decided it was in. Okay. I even had a few days later a discussion with Jackie Charlton about it.
Yeah.
A great honor for me to meet him in person. Only a few minutes, was it? Uh, it was so. I was there. There was a special partnership between Dortmund and the city of Leeds. And
Right.
I came to Leeds as part of a of official German youth delegation, and so the press greeted us and they led us to several events and even uh, to training of the Leeds Football Club, and that
Right.
was opportunity to have a small talk with Jackie Charlton
Well, yeah,
at the time,
Lothar.
66.
Yeah, well, Lothar, please let us know. I mean, you met the late great Jack Charlton. He took Republic of Ireland to the World Cup um, at least once or twice. I think 1990 and 1994. Brilliant manager. Your experience of meeting him, Lothar. I mean, what happened? What did you say? What was the conversation?
Oh, it was a short conversation about the game and about sports in Germany and sports in England, and just a nice small talk, nothing more.
But a very big honor for you to be able to
It
meet him.
was a big honor for me, and I still remember this. Of course, such a famous football player in such an important year, 66, England. I know the slogan at that time was football comes back to England, to the homeland of football, and
As they say.
we liked to be there and had a lot of fun together with English friends, and
That's
I
really good.
enjoyed it very much.
That's good to hear. I mean, what else about the World Cup 66? Did you see any more games or did you meet any more players, like especially German players? You had Franz Beckenbauer, I believe, in the team at that time. What a exceptional player he was for Germany and for clubs alone.
Uh, most football players I got to know personally was uh, a few years before. That was not so as in our days that they were the big stars far away from normal people. They were just normal guys from the neighborhood. And when I went to a bar, uh, could be possible that one of them was beside you and you could speak. They were not. Today, every good footballer is nearly a millionaire and earns much money and lives somewhere else and not where the normal people live. That were other times. Uh,
Well,
just
Lufa, back then you had a day job, I assume. You had day job
yes,
and
yes,
football.
they were, let me say, half professionals. They worked and they played football. And it was just the other time. Uh, we say, for instance, one short story that is, it sounds funny today.
Yeah,
When Borussia Dortmund in 1956 became first time champion, what the players got was a electric shaver.
right. You did say this. Yeah, they got an electric shaver
Yes, and
as a gift for winning the league.
it was
What does
in
that
the
say?
50s, and that was electric shaver was something very new, and nearly no one had one. But one player uh, had already one, And he told, what now? I have one, what to do? And the manager said, oh, no problem. You will get a TV, but it's more expensive. So you
Yeah.
will have to pay 40 Deutschmarks extra.
Oh, so we had to. Oh, wow! That's a story, Lothar. So basically, he already had a
Yes,
razor.
yet
They gave
gives
out razors, and instead they gave him a TV, but he had to pay 40 Deutschmark extra in order to
yes
get the
to get a
prize.
TV because the TV was much more expensive than an electric shaver. That gives a short impression how different
Times were.
times were then, and a football player who wins the championship in Germany, England, or wherever else in Europe would laugh about something like this. They get a million extra or so, I think.
Well, you think if Franz Beckenbauer was around today, he'd be on millions, wouldn't he? He was that sort of player. And you can say that for the likes of Bobby Charlton, etc., as well. Um, what do you make of football right now, Lothar? And the fact it has changed so much, and the fact we
Yes,
have
of course, it's
VAR and
changed so much. And one thing is clear: football today is better than football was 50 or 60 years ago because they are all professionals. Uh, they are trained every day. There is a physical fitness more than so many decades ago. They are picked uh, at the age of 10 and prepared for being a football professional. They are much better. On the other hand, I would say for the feeling, for the heart, the times 50 years ago were better. You felt with them. It was a guy of the same city where you are living, where today Bellingham is going to Dortmund, and after 2 years he will go perhaps to Manchester City or to Madrid or wherever. And
big player.
the mental connection to the player, to the team was another 50 or 60 years ago. And they played for the same club from the beginning to the end of the career. So it was with still with Beckenbauer or others, or Uwe Seeler, who played for Hamburg
Yeah.
for 20 years. And I think today is this will not be possible, especially if one is very good and can earn very much money. Uh, so Borussia Dortmund will be mostly only second in Germany, and first will be Bayern Munich. And one thing that is remarkable is Dortmund has, as far I can judge, a very good scouting department,
Does.
and they find players at a very young age. So Bellingham also, or perhaps others, as Holland was
Yeah.
at Dortmund years
Sancho,
ago, or Lewandowski or so.
Sancho,
But,
Lothar, Sancho, Jaden,
yeah,
the Man United player who used to play for Borussia Dortmund a few seasons ago. Jaden Sancho.
oh, I don't know what can't
Oh,
see in
well,
the, but I don't think he will. such players will stay very long in Dortmund. They have other ideas. They think of there are in Europe a few big uh, clubs as uh, Manchester City or Madrid or so, and they all want to go there. Perhaps it's because it's a great honor. Perhaps they can earn a few million more.
Maybe they can. Do you think it's gone a bit crazy, the wages that are given these days compared to, like you said, back in the day where you used to have a day job and played football? Do you think it's gone too mad?
Yes, it's a little bit mad today. That's what I would criticize. Today it's more business and it's show and all this. It's sports, of course, too, but not primary sports. It's more business.
Yeah.
And that differs to the time 50, 60 years ago. That was really sports.
Do you think the way that Borussia Dortmund are dealing with their situation, they're not necessarily buying expensive players? So do you think that that's the only way they can go in the Bundesliga right now?
For Dortmund is a problem. They will not have to have enough money to compete with a very big European clubs, and that's really a problem. And in Germany, it's seems to be even boring if you look at the championship in Germany for the last 20 years. I think for of 20 years, 18 times Bayern Munich has been
Yeah.
for champion, and it is would be better if there would be some more clubs, at least three or four or five. For England, I would think this year it is Manchester City and perhaps Arsenal also,
Unfortunately,
who are the most who have the best chances to be on top at the end of the season.
yeah, I completely agree.
But in Germany, at the moment, Bayern Munich is number four, I think, or so. But I, after a few weeks, it will change and it will be on top again.
Back to
It's
Bayern
a
Munich.
question of
Yeah,
money.
completely agree. Completely agree. I've got some comments here for you. It's from Tailor Made Army. They're a Watford supporters group, Lothar. I'm going to try and speak German for you, Lothar. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Wie sind Sie hier, Lothar, toller Gast? Correct?
Yes.
Comprende? Understand? What did he say there?
I really don't know. I really don't know, but
You don't know what that means, no? Wie sind Sie, Herr Lothar, toller Gast?
Pardon?
Wie sind Sie, Herr Lothar, toller Gast?
I didn't understand the last. Sorry.
Gast, G-A-S-T. I don't know. I don't know either.
No, sorry.
Dortmund ist, wie Sie schon sagten, ein großartiges Online-Produkt für Spieler. Yeah?
Yes.
I don't think I said it right. It's my fault, Lothar. I'm trying so
Oh,
hard.
no. Perhaps my English is not good enough. I just remembered
I was speaking
55
German.
years ago. My guestmother in England once told me, "Oh, you really look like a young Englishman." And then she added, "Till you open your mouth."
Well, he said in German, but he's saying it in English. He said, it was, how are you, Lothar? Great guest. That's what he meant to say in German. And he also said, Dortmund is a great production line for players, Lothar, as you have stated.
Yes, yes. Dortmund is always one of the leading clubs in Germany, and uh, as I told you, they are good in finding new talents, and that is the reason why they will among the first, and they will probably play a certain role even in the Champions League, but on the very top. I am sorry, I don't see them.
No, me neither. Me neither. Lothar, to ask you about what you do. You're an author, right? And you're a campaigner.
Yes, yes. Oh, I have a very, let me even say, wildlife after me. I have studied history and philosophy.
Right.
And yeah, and after this, I didn't want to have to do with theory, and I began a second professional career as a financial manager, and I worked therefore in several German companies as a financial manager for 20 years. And at the end, at least when I became retired, I began to write books. And I've written 3 books in German and one even in English. Uh, uh, what I want to write always is some criminal stories, but to combine it with uh, an impetus to think about more problems. So the
Like
title of
like
the
a
book in
like a book of philosophy, Lothar, yeah?
yeah,
But
yes,
real life drama.
philosophy. Yes, I try to give uh, people also an idea about philosophical questions, and I try to attract their interest by an exciting story,
Yes.
and then they should think about more. So I want to give them exciting entertainment and the impetus for thinking about deeper problems. The title of my book in English is uh, Whoever Kills the Innocent, and it's about terrorism and so on. And the last sentence is there. Um, Keep to those who are searching the truth and become suspicious if someone has told you he has found it.
Okay. Very well said. Football needs that sort of knowledge today. Have you ever said anything, ever wrote anything about football at all?
No, no, no books about football.
And
Uh,
what do
I
you think? What do you think, Lothar, about the problems in football as well, and the racism and the cancellation culture, etc.? What do you make of this?
Oh God, the problem is said with one word is money, money, and too much money, and therefore very often too much stress for the manager too, for the players, and I really think it should be more fun and more sports. But look to Indonesia today, in these days, when you had so many deaths there, and um, I just want to tell you about my time when I was one boy at 10, and I was looking, watching the games of Dortmund. I was always in the first line there of the spectators, no fans, nothing. I would have been able to touch sometimes the player at his shirt, to pick his shirt, but never anything bad happened. Somewhere it was just other. It's unbelievable for today. Huh? What can you imagine that at the Premier League people are so close to the players that they can pick their shirts? Would not be were able today. In those times, it was. Perhaps our behavior was better.
Environmental, wasn't it? It was just what was around you. It's unfortunate. It took a lot of time, I think, for people to break out of that environmental shell and kind of discover life and how to actually treat each other. It was very different back then, wasn't it, Lothar?
Yes, that's thing I just wanted to say. We were not always good boys, and when I said our behavior is today, the behavior is today not as ours was, but nothing bad happened. We liked to go when we were in the neighbor town where Schalke played, to go with our flags, black and yellow flags, through the suburbs and sing songs the people there didn't like, but there was no violence, and that was some good thing.
Some good thing, yeah. We got a question for you, Lothar, and then we're going to finish off. Anthony Herbert, big up to Anthony. Big up to Bobby K as well with the love heart. Big up to Football versus Cancer. That's Talks channel. Please go subscribe, like to that as well. And Anthony, again, big up Matt and Lothar. He asked you, who was your all-time favourite German player?
Your
favourite player of Germany.
I think it was Uwe Seeler. I think it was Uwe Seeler. And the favorite manager, it would be easier for me to answer. That was Jürgen Klopp. I think he's a great manager.
There you go. Who was your player again?
I think a player, I would say Uwe Seeler.
Say that again?
Uwe Seeler from Hamburg, HSV. It's a time ago.
Maybe
he's already dead.
Yeah, that's why
he was, by the way, the captain of the German team in '66.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now I know. Yeah. Rosler. Yeah, I understand. I do understand that. Yeah, I got you. I'm not too familiar. I am a little. I'm a young guy. I think
it's another generation.
Yes, for me, Lothar. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was
It was an honor for me. I enjoyed it.
would you like to tell everybody where they can find you on social media, on your Twitter and your books?
It's on Twitter,
And
mostly on Twitter. I like Twitter, and you can always find me there, and I will always answer questions there if you have one.
Brilliant. What's your Twitter? Is it Lothar Birkner? Yeah.
Yeah.
And your books. What are the names of your books? So if people want to read them, they can go and find them.
Yes, you can find me at Twitter and ask me any questions there.
The name of your books that you wrote.
Oh.
You don't know
About everything. About everything. I am interested in everything. Football and sport is a great thing, but I'm willing to answer every question and to discuss about everything.
Yeah, brilliant. we'll get everybody. We'll put in in the comments or sometime during the stream. We'll put it in for you at some point, maybe on Twitter as well. Lothar, thank you very much for joining us once again.
Okay, you're welcome. I thank you too.
Thank you, mate. Please smash the like, share, subscribe if you can. Share it out if you can. It would mean a lot. And we will see you again tomorrow for United Across the Globe. It's a very interesting talk coming tomorrow. Can't wait for it. The guys are back on. Take care, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.
Okay.